Jason, wouldn't you say that the number one issue that our clients run into, or the number one issue that our conference attendees run into, is they say they don't have enough time to get the stuff done? Is that correct?
That is highly correct.
So at the conferences, we teach specifically what you need to do to get stuff done. We teach the proven path, the success strategies, the actual best practice systems. But if you don't have time to get it done, you can't get it done. Jason, what if we had a show that would help our listeners create an extra 10 hours per week? Would that be helpful?
That'd be extremely helpful.
Well, on today's show, we are joined by OxyFresh's franchise brand developer, Matt Klein, to share specifically how you can create more time.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrivetime Show.
Now, 3, 2, 1, here we go!
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we'll show you.
Yes, 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 and yes. On today's show, we are interviewing Matt Klein, and we're going to do something different. Because normally, Josh, whenever we have Matt Klein on the show, he's already there.
Right.
And then we go back in and we edit the show later, so that way Matt Klein is, part of the show, but we call him first, and then we edit it into the intro.
Oh, are we going to change it up today?
We're going to call him right now, and the listeners can hear us calling him. That way they know we actually do call this guy. So I'm going to call him right now. Let me cue it up here. Going on to Skype. I'm hitting the number. It's ringing.
Oh, so this is real.
This is real. It's not going to be that edited stuff. No, it's raw. It's real. It's real and raw. But will he pick up? That's the question.
This is Matt.
Matt Klein, you are just looking fine.
Sorry about that. I don't know why I couldn't hear the phone ring.
Hey, no problem. I was just taking a shower, and I couldn't find my pants, so I thought I might as well just give you a call.
I like it. One thing, can you call me on my office line? I usually just do this with the headphones in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But can you call me on my office line? Because I got a few people in here. They're not going to talk or anything. They just kind of want to hear.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I can handle that kind of rejection. So I'm going to call, but let me clarify what number I'm going to call real quick here. Let me just read the number that I'm going to call. I just want to make sure.
I think he was saying he just wants to hang up on you, Clay. Is that
let me just verify the number here. I'm looking
I've
for
missed 3 calls. I wouldn't want to hang up on you as well.
Is it 720-963-6131?
You got it.
Okay, I'll call you right back on that number. That's the number. Just make sure it's 720-963-6131.
You got it.
Okay, I'm calling you right back. All right, 1 second. Okay, and now we're going to call Matt Klein back. Thrivers, if you're out there looking for a good time, call 720-963 and then 6131 for a good time. If you're out there looking for a good time, call that number. That's Matt Klein. You can buy an OxyFresh franchise or just have a great time. Here we go. We're ringing. Are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can hear me now. You feel you sound good. You feel good? Do you feel like you sound good?
Hello?
Okay, we're there. Well, Matt, today I wanted to talk about things that don't matter.
Okay.
You know how, like, sometimes you're running a franchise and there's things that just don't matter? Like an employee quit and goes to work for the competition, and although it maybe was the low road, although you didn't like it, although it was bad, you just got to move on. Or, somebody keys your OxyFresh, wrap, that kind of thing, and you're mad about it. What do you do? So let's go ahead and do that, and I'll go back in and do some clever editing, my friend.
All right.
Okay. So, yes, and yes. And on today's show, we are joined with Matt Klein. Matt Klein, welcome to the line, my friend. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I appreciate the time here and look forward to having a conversation with you guys.
Okay, now, Matt Klein, we're talking today about the things that don't matter. I've got a list here of things that don't matter, and that I think a lot of times, if we're honest with ourselves, and Josh, you run a company, Living Water Irrigation, if we're honest with ourselves as small business owners, we could spend a lot of time doing stuff that doesn't matter.
Our entire day.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to give the listeners back a gift called their time. If I could turn back time, Cher once said, the wise modern philosopher Cher said, if I could turn back time, but it was a deeper voice because it's Cher. If I could turn. Yeah, and she had fishnets on. Remember that, Matt? Matt, do you remember that video, the fishnet?
That was one of my favorite times in my entire life.
Are you watching
Sharon
it right
Fishman.
now, Matt? Are you watching it right now?
It was all those Navy people.
Well, yeah, I watch it. I mean, I have to mute it when we get on this thing, but yeah, it's always streaming in the back of my computer.
She was on a boat with a bunch of Navy sailors, and all the listeners out there, you do a YouTube search right now for "If I Could Turn Back Time" and watch the Cher video, because watching that video is an epic waste of time. It's an absolute waste of time. But you could watch the video, or you could stop it, and when you stop it, you get your time back. Much like when you stop doing some of these things I call jackassery, you're going to get your time back. So, Matt, I'm going to throw out the problem, share the problem, and then you tell me what you do at OxyFresh when this happens to you as a franchise owner yourself. So here we go.
Okay.
You get a bad review from someone who was not a customer.
Yeah. This is something that's happened to me. I've had it to where I've had a customer give me a bad review because we couldn't service her the day she wanted it, so we were just too busy. I tried to handle it. I tried to get it taken care of, and, we just couldn't make that person happy. So, there are franchisees out there that really kind of hang on these things. You're not going to change it, move on, just get more reviews and bury that thing so you don't have to worry about it. But, yes, this is one of my favorite topics because there are so many things that are just consuming people's time that will not change their bottom line or change their business. That one's one to try your best to make the customer happy and then just move on.
Okay, so now another one, and Josh, before we move on, though, this could be hard. I would like to take the side of the person out there who just wasted their entire day responding to a bad review, and I would like to pile on. Can I read my bad reviews real quick? Can I do that? Is that fair? Is that a fun game?
Love it.
I think it's fun.
Okay, thanks. You guys, see, it's a fun game for you, but for me, because it's my business, this isn't a fun game. You guys are sick.
Do Matt and I get to pile on as you read your reviews?
Well, this is for Elephant in the Room. Now, the key to finding, we have 1,335 reviews of this particular store. This is our store in Yale. And, Matt, I'm going to sort by the worst ones because we have a 4.9 score right now. 4.9. Matt, is a 4.9 pretty good?
Pretty good.
Is 1,300 reviews
exactly
pretty good?
Where you want to be.
Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, great. When we come up top in Google, I'm going to the lowest. First one, their haircuts are fine. The challenge for me is the subscription model. You have to pay monthly. Matt?
Well, I mean, then if she doesn't like the subscription model, she should go to a different haircut place because that's basically what Elephant in the Room is.
Okay.
How many days did you spend lamenting about that, Clay?
None. Now we have a hairstylist who's a competitor. This is a hairstylist. She applied for a job. I know who she is. And she didn't get a job from us because she applied and she I just didn't get a job. So she wrote, all their reviews are faked and forced. Their employees ask every customer for a review.
That is moronic.
Now, another guy writes in, this is hot. He says, only went in here because my late fiance had been bugging me for months before she passed away. The woman who cut my hair butchered my hair and spit on my fiance's memory in the process. I am never, ever returning to this place.
Jeez.
Oh, guys, these are
That's
fun.
not real.
It's real. That's what it says. Now, this is
That's one of your fake leads you got from that other lady.
Now, listen.
That is aggressive.
I had a review, and I don't know if it's still up here or what store it's on, but it was very funny. This guy said, I was applying for an executive level job, and my haircut was so bad, I did not get my job. I did not get the job. And I talked to this individual on 2 occasions
That's
after he demanded.
one way to pass blame. That's a good one.
Let me do another one.
But if you always get a haircut before you go to a job interview, you can't blame it on yourself. So that's perfect.
Perfect.
Here's another one. Since my last review was deleted, I will post this again. Do not give these people your info. because it says when you schedule a haircut, because they will fill up your voicemail. He goes on to share he missed his appointment, and we kept calling him to see when he wanted to reschedule. I mean, these are real ones. These are fabulous. Would never go there again. Service was terrible. Now, this is what I have chosen to do. Whenever I'm not happy with a service, I choose to just take my dollars elsewhere. Have you ever had that idea, Josh?
Oh, it's exactly what I do.
I just go somewhere else. Unless we're talking about airline travel, then I have to fly American every time, which is why the company's mascot is AA. The company's mascot, American Airlines, is Alcoholics Anonymous, because they turn average normal people into raging alcoholics with their delayed flights. But we can't go anywhere else. There are no other opportunities. But I do not leave them a bad review, but I'm just telling you, if you're out there and you've ever flown on American Airlines and it didn't go well, I'm with you. So here we go. So we have people out there that leave a bad review. Josh, how do you deal with it?
So, full transparency, a couple years ago when we got our first 1-star review.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I lamented on it.
Oh.
It was terrible.
I've done it too.
Oh, it was horrible.
Horrible.
Oh, gosh, it was terrible.
The weekend is bad. The day's bad. It goes into the weekend.
Don't even like my wife.
Dinner's
and
bad.
kids. Kick my dog when I get home.
Your wife says, "How are you?" You're like, "Fine. It's a great day." Now, the problem is...
But now when I get one,
Yeah.
I call, I address it, see what we can do to try to take care of them and try to right the wrong. If it's something that is beyond my control or beyond rational thought, I move on with my life.
But again, all of us have struggled at one point to get over this.
Yes, sir.
But the problem is, if you grow an OxyFresh, Matt, you have more and more clients. So even if you only had a complaint out of every 100 times, I mean, think if you were shooting free throws. If you made 99 out of 100 free throws, you're the best ever. Now, if you're cleaning carpets and you have 99 great services provided and one displeased person, you're getting a bad review. So if you grow a company and you service thousands and thousands of customers per year and you don't get over this, you could never have a good day, because every day you might get a bad review. Think about this. Elephant in the room. There's 4,000 members, and 1% of them per month, 1 to 2%, are usually upset because we made a mistake. Because it's a skill. It's hair. It's like an art kind of thing, you know? So that means 40 people a month to 80 people a month hate me. And I used to let it bother me, but now I take the high road and I just don't go outside. Okay, so now the next area, Matt, is if somebody cuts you off in traffic.
Oh.
You're a technician, you're driving around your OxyFresh mobile. OxyFresh! Hi, I'm here to clean your carpets. OxyFresh. So you're in your car, someone cuts you off. Woof. What do you do when someone cuts you off? Zhoof. What do you do? Do you pull over? Do you give them the finger? Do you threaten them? Do you film it on video? Do you post it on YouTube? Do you get outraged? Do you go on Facebook, Matt? What's the best practice at OxyFresh?
Best practice is to just go to your job and forget it, because our vehicles are GPS tracked. So no harm, no foul. It's going to happen. Right? Our guys are driving around all day, so it's just part of it. Someone cuts you off and you make it a bigger situation than it needs to be. That's potentially a bad thing for an employee, because you're in a company vehicle. So you better just calm down, figure it out. That's not the job you're there to do. Get the job and get it taken care of so we can actually pay it and we can move on. I don't have a whole bunch of sympathy for road rage.
I had a client who's not a client anymore, Matt. You'd enjoy the story. True story. I'll tell you who it is after Josh, because you would like this guy. He gets someone cuts him off in traffic. He proceeds to follow them for miles. Well, we're in Oklahoma, which is a state where you can conceal carry. So I guess he follows this guy for miles to give him a piece of his mind, right? So he pulls up next to the guy, and I guess the guy proceeds then to pull a weapon on him. This is on the shoulder of the road now. And then he proceeds to pull out his weapon.
Whoa.
True story. And these two proceeded to have like a jousting thing. And he came into my meeting. We have a weekly meeting. He comes in. He goes, "You wouldn't believe what happened." I said, "What is?" "Well, one, I followed this guy. He cut me off. Two, I followed him for miles." I said, how long do you follow him? He said, "Miles, probably 10 miles. I followed the guy. I pull over on the side of the road. He finally pulls over. He pulls out a weapon. I pull out a bigger weapon. We're waving weapons at each other. Cops come by, see this happening. And both of us said we felt threatened. Now I'm doing all this paperwork and police stuff. And, God, my week's been terrible. And I said, perhaps you shouldn't follow people around who cut you off in traffic, to which he said something to the effect of, "I strongly dislike you, Mr. Clark." And then he left. It's interesting. So, Josh, what happens when someone cuts you off at Living Water Irrigation in one of your Living Water Irrigation beautiful trucks?
I hope that they are safe and they're able to get where they can go, and I just continue going wherever I'm going, because I have more important things to do than to follow somebody around.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
You don't waste your time on road rage?
No, I don't think it's a good idea, and I don't really think that it's a positive use of time.
Matt, trying to convince morons to not be morons. You have an employee, you made a bad hire. We've all done it. But the problem is he's your cousin. That's the problem. The problem is not Matt's cousin. Oh, but it's my cousin. We can rip on me. I've only hired a few idiot cousins. Oh, I have. You hire them, and if my cousin's listening, get off the show, stop listening to the show, move on. We've talked about this. Stop leaving comments. We've already had this discussion. But this guy comes to work and just can't string together 2 days in a row on time. He wanted it, Matt. The first day he wanted it. Second day he's late. Then he wants it. Third day he wants it. Fourth day, can't do it. Fifth day, this goes on and on. Eventually I said, I don't know, something like, hey, it's not working out. To which, now the family's enraged. People are calling, I can't believe you'd fire the guy. What do you do, Matt, when you have family working for you or friends who are just dysfunctional? Do you spend your life coaching them?
No, I've had this before. I mean, you coach them to a point where it's not taking a lot away from your business. If you can change someone's behavior to make it beneficial, you're going to be good, right? And that's the majority of people. But if you're training someone and they keep repeating habits that are detrimental to your bottom line or trying to do, you can only say sorry so many times. So, are you going to spend the time just in misery because you can't fix someone's problems? Just find someone else that you can work with. So family or no family, at the end of the day, do you want your business to be successful? And the answer is yes. Then you need to put the right people in place. And if you don't, that's your fault.
Now, chasing endless viral marketing unicorn ideas. Ooh. Now, before, I always have to mention the Patriots per show. It's important. I'm contractually bound by myself to mention the Patriots. But the Patriots, Bill Belichick just suspended their best defensive player, Mr. Bennett, for conduct detrimental to the team. And they went out there and beat the Jets. You know why? Because Bill Belichick is the GOAT. Why'd they suspend the guy? Because he apparently was not following the systems. So if you're out there, make like Belichick and get that guy off the field. Now, dumb time-wasting activity number 4 is chasing endless viral marketing unicorn ideas. Now, Josh, were you recently on Good Morning America?
I was, sir.
And if people do a search right now for man uses 8 billboards to declare love for wife, you'll find the Thrivetime show about it. If you type in Tulsa, man buys 8 billboards, you'll find the story. It's been in Fox 23, Yahoo News, Good Morning America, People. It's been fun.
Yes, sir.
And it was something that you did not. What was the reason why you did the billboard, or what was the phrase you put on the billboard? What was the phrase?
Put Amy, I love you more.
And that's your wife.
That is my wife.
And it's fun being on Good Morning America.
It was a good time.
But are you getting rich off it?
I can't say I'm getting rich off of that. No, sir.
But it's helpful. But it's not like a viral. You couldn't do it every day.
No.
So, Matt, you see this. I'm sure you've never had an OxyFresh franchisee who's decided they want to become an Instagram viral marketing star.
Yeah, it happens.
Really? So what do you do?
A lot of people that kind of we absolutely want people to be creative with their marketing, but the reason you would buy a franchise is because we have a system here. So we are all for going down roads that we've never been before, but let's do it as a team so we're not wasting time and effort and things that we don't know yet. The beauty of this is we can train some things. We can set some pilot programs and see if it's worth the money to spend or worth the program. Do it. But, yeah, these are challenging. I once had a guy pay $10,000 for a roadside sign after everyone in our entire franchise did that and told him not to. He still did it anyways. So, and it was exactly for what you're saying. He had a friend that was a billboard sign guy, and he went hard. He went 10,000 deep right away. That's not our niche. And
not our niche,
he
baby.
did not get jobs from that.
Now, the next one here, Matt, and this just happened. Google always makes updates, and one of the updates they made that affected Elephant in the Room, OxyFresh, everybody with a business and a pulse who understands how Google works, they removed the 5-star schema that shows up under certain website listings. So if you would Google a certain company name, you might see the 5 stars appearing underneath the name. Now that's gone from the search results. You still get reviews on your map, that kind of thing. But asking why technology changes over and over and over instead of moving on. I'm sure you've never had that before, Matt. But where it's like, oh, Matt, why did it change? Why? You're like, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why Valpak isn't the only viable marketing strategy anymore for small business. I don't know why Valpak is not the only marketing strategy. But Google apparently is a thing, so we need to get reviews. But why? Why, Matt?
Yeah.
Why? Can you talk about this where people waste time asking why?
Yeah, I think the why is important to understand. But more importantly, if you're fighting things that are current marketing trends that other companies are taking advantage of, you might as well just sell your business. Because if you're always, every time something changes, if you're trying to fight it or ask why, or you're not willing to learn about it, right, there's another company out there that's going to. So if you spend that time lamenting and trying to figure it out, you're going to be behind the ball. So you might as well understand that it's going to change. Look forward to it. If you change your mindset and look forward to those changes and really spend the time understanding them and making sure they're going to help your business, you're going to succeed. Let the other people worry about the why, right? You maybe never even know the why. But if you take advantage and be the first to market and really embrace those things, your business is going to succeed while other people start asking that why and, start pouting about it. So expect change and grow with it. If you don't, you're going to be in trouble.
Now, here's the next one. This one's going to hit too close to home. It's too close, Matt. This is too close. This is such a bad, disgusting idea. It's going to be like you're sitting down to have a steak, and you've been thinking about that steak all day. You're so excited. And then a friend of yours says, hey, excuse me, Matt, have you seen my cat? And you go, huh? And you look, and there's a cat anus on your steak. Not just the cat face or the paws, but the cat anus. And you're like, oh, gosh, come on, man. And then he says, wait a minute. And there you see the little kitty, little Truffles is his name. I think his name's Truffles or Mr. Jeeves or something. And Mr. Jeeves, he looks at you, Matt, and makes that cat face like I'm out of here. But then one last time, he puts the tail up, and you see the cat anus that was on your steak. That's how close to home it is. It ruins a day. It's a bad thing. This next thing is like the cat anus on the steak. It's going to ruin your life if you let this happen. It's not getting objective reviews and allowing your employees to not get objective reviews. Matt, preach the good news of why you have to get reviews, I have to get reviews, and we have got to make our employees gather those objective freaking reviews, because if not, it's like putting a cat anus on a steak.
Yep, and it goes back to what we just said. If you're fighting getting reviews, you might as well sell your business, because that's how customers find you. So if you don't have the infrastructure and the training capable or abilities to make sure that the people that are doing the job, the people that are within your company understand the value of reviews and are getting them, you're going to fall behind. You're not going to be able to keep up with the competitors. You need to make this a part of your business, because there's no better way of looking at a company through the eyes of people that have already used your services or product. And if they can basically vouch for you, you're going to be set. But if you're struggling with one or two reviews, right, you either need to find people that can teach you how to do it, you need to take a class, you need something, because that is going to be the future. It's not going away. Stop fighting it, embrace it, and your business will benefit from it.
Now, Matt, this is a show where we don't talk about politics a lot. I just kind of dance around them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little quiz here, and I promise I will not ask you for a political statement. I promise you. I vow to the listeners I would not do that. But it's going to feel like I'm getting close, but I will not ask you who you voted for. I'm not going to ask your political opinions, but we're just going to play a game real quick, okay?
All right.
The governor of Colorado, maybe he's Republican, maybe Democrat, I don't know. The president of the United States currently is a Republican or a Democrat for 5,000 mega points.
The president of the United States?
Yes, currently.
He is absolutely a Republican.
Okay, now the previous president, Obama, was a Democrat. Now, I've known JB and OxyFresh. I've been having that conversation with JB, been talking to JB since 1999 is when I met the man. For 13 years now, OxyFresh has been getting it done.
We have.
But no, I've been talking to JB for 8 years before I met you. I mean, so we've had this conversation, and we've had a Democrat in office for 8 years. We had a little George Bush action there for a while, Republican. Then we had a little Barack Obama Democrat action. Now we got a little Republican action, and who knows, it might change. But why is debating politics a bad idea if you're a franchise, a franchisee, a business owner, or a human on the planet Earth?
Well, have you ever looked at or been involved in a argument or a discussion around politics that ever got an answer? I would say no.
Okay.
So keep it to yourself. Don't mix it with business. Right, you're there to do a service or a product. Do that at a high level. I don't know how that would help your business.
Final 60 seconds, 3 more to hit here. Debating religion. Josh, you have a religious view. I have one too. I'm a Christian. You're a Christian. That's great. A lot of listeners are not Christians. Why is debating religion with customers, employees on Facebook or any other social media a bad use of time?
Because you're never going to get where you want to get. You should be, as a Christian, you should be a great voice and bring joy and bring a light into all situations and season every conversation with salt. But it's not a good idea to have religious arguments ever, ever, ever.
Okay, another one here, Matt Klein, is arguing ethics instead of just doing what the law allows. As an example, Clay, listen, I want you to make sure you ask your customers for reviews. And I might say, yeah, but is it ethical? You know, that kind of crap, where I just want to not do it, so I want to argue the ethics. Why is arguing business ethics constantly? Why is that? I mean, if it's legal, if it's not against the law, why is it a bad idea to debate ethics all day?
Yeah, I just don't know how that's going to help you. Right? There's things you need to be done that need to be done for your business. Do them. If you're trying to explain ways out of doing something, then just don't do that. But I mean, I can't imagine anything in my business that I do that I need to argue ethics about. If you have questions of your own about things that are unethical, you maybe should think about what you're trying to accomplish. But rarely have I ever sat there in my business and said, I think it's important to have an ethics discussion around what we're trying to accomplish. So I don't know how that should be, unless I got someone stealing stuff from other people. I'm not talking about ethics. It's just not going to work for me.
Final thing you should stop doing if you want to get your time back. Stop not hiring and interviewing high-quality staff. Stop not always recruiting. Stop having this mindset that you can never be done recruiting. Stop being stuck with a dysfunctional team. Matt, break it down.
Yeah, this one is super important. If you are doing good by your employees and you're running a good business with a growth pattern and you are setting an environment where people want to work for you, it is to be expected that those people are going to get to a point eventually where they're going to move on and potentially have a better opportunity down the road. If you don't expect that, then you're not in an environment, at least to my knowledge, or my thought process, that's going to be, building people up and giving them skills they didn't come to your business with. Right, so if you're not always looking at new people and always looking at potential employees that are going to help your business grow, right, then you're going to be so behind the ball when things actually do happen. When somebody quits without knowing, or something, God forbid something happens with an illness. You need to have people available that can help your business always. And if you don't, then anytime something happens, you're going to suffer as a business because you're going to have to fill that void instead of having people ready to go for your company when things like that happen. Also, you should be able to have people always because you as a company should be looking to grow. So if you're not there, you're going to be basically behind the ball anytime something happens.
Matt Klein, it is always a pleasure talking to you, my friend. I appreciate you putting up with me and allowing me to call you on a weekly basis. These updates are incredible. Congratulations on opening 400 OxyFresh franchises all across this nation. If you would like to join the OxyFresh conversation or learn more about owning a business that has the potential to provide you and your family with time and financial freedom while using the world's greenest carpet cleaning system and a revolutionary customer service call center, it's awesome. Turnkey marketing, it's all there. Go to thrivetimeshow.com/OxyFresh. That's thrivetimeshow.com/OxyFresh. Matt, you're looking fresh. You're smelling fresh. Have a good day.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate everything. Have an awesome rest of your week.
Take care, dude.
You got it. Bye.
And now, without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom! Stop what you're doing and think about this for a second. What would happen if your company was suddenly able to generate exponentially more quality sales leads? That would be incredible. What would happen if your company came up at the top or near the top of the Google search engine results? Well, I would just feel overwhelmed with all that business. How many thousands of dollars in lost sales or millions of dollars in lost sales are you missing out on simply because your potential customers can't find you when they go online to search for the products and services that you offer? I refuse to think that thought because I don't want any more business. Unless you are a dirty communist that hates money, my new book, Search Engine Domination, will help you grow your business. In my new book, Search Engine Domination, we will teach you the specific steps that you need to take to dominate the search engine results. What do you mean by dominate? You see, in my new book, Search Engine Domination, we will teach you the specific steps that you need to take to dominate search engine results. Download your free ebook copy today at thebestseobook.com. I repeat, that's thebestseobook.com.
My name is Amy Baltimore, and I am a CPA in Covington, Tennessee. I've been working with the Thrive team now for about a year. One of the first things that they did was to update my website and my search engine optimization. I prior had a website, but I was not being found on Google, and all of my new business was coming through referrals from friends, family, etc. And right away I started to see results. People were calling and coming in saying that they found me on Google. They just Googled CPA near me, and there I was at the top of the page. And so it's been a great help to my business.
Again, you can download your free ebook copy today at thebestseobook.com.
Hey, this is Dustin Huff. I'm with Keystone Harbor Marina. We joined Thrive back in January and have been working with these guys for about 7 months. During that time period, we have moved up our Google rank through reviews and SEO processes that we've compiled through these guys. Our leads have gone from about 4 a week to now 165 a week. So the process works. I will tell you from experience, once you begin, you have to stay with it. As long as you continually do this week in and week out, month in and month out, you'll continually grow.
The system works, but nothing works unless you do. You've got to take some action. Download the ebook for free today at thebestseobook.com.
Hello, my name is Daniel with Daniel's Heating and Air here in Amarillo, Texas. The way Google has affected my business, we have got a lot of calls from Google. Right now it's July, and we've had the best month ever. And it took us about 8 to 10 months to get on top of Google, and I'm glad we did.
Remember, nothing works unless you do. You have to go to thebestseobook.com today. Download the ebook for free. Just download that ebook for free, and you'll be off to the races.
Hi, my name is Christina Nemus. I'm the owner and operator of Angel's Touch Auto Body and Detailing in Bourne, Massachusetts. We have been working with Thrive and their coaching for, say, 8 to 9 months, and it took us about 6 months, 5 to 6 months to get on the top of Google, and with their help with the website and marketing, and the SEO and retargeting ads with Google, and it has been phenomenal. We just have light and day business coming in, phone calls coming in, walk-ins, referrals. It's just through the roof, and we couldn't be happier. At the moment, we are up 50% this year from the previous year, and not only is that part of our own hard work and diligence, but also with the help of Thrive and what they've done for us and getting us on the top of Google and, you know, all their knowledge and coaching. And yeah, so super grateful, super pumped to see what the future holds for all of us. Thank you.
This is your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. Proverbs 10:4. I'm here to tell you, you can do it if you can just motivate yourself. 12 the masses had to cut off a few, so on the daily you and I could rendezvous. A misshapen tree that I had to prune. I had to make cuts to be here daily at noon. So like a tidal wave of knowledge monsoon, I could rain on the parades of those who doubt in you. Are you the next Rockefeller or the next guru, or the next Dr. King who's changing the rules? Walls are in your way, will you run right through? Like a running back, forth the one, it's up to you. I remember my days back in the dorm room, tuned to the gloom like the temple of doom, overwhelmed with the doubts that try to consume my hope for the future that I could pursue. But from the mountaintop now I can conclude that you have what it takes if you want the view to
This is your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time. It's your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
This moment is profound cause you're above the ground. Your road might have been rough, but what you got now is now. We're here to pick you up and to even show you how, but you gotta be resourceful with that old plow. Started from the bottom, but I worked my way up, cause by 4 a.m. I've always been prayed up. Rise and grind, now's your time, don't dare let up. You gotta get it, don't quit it till your seeds grow up.
This is your year to thrive.
Come on.
Success Success you will find.
Yes.
Today is your day.
Somebody say,
And now is your time.
it's your time.
It's your year to thrive.
Come on, come on.
Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
It's your time.
Yeah,
We all have a wish and we all want to win, but we cannot begin without self-discipline. If you fall on your face, get yourself up again. Attach yourself to goals, not fail with the friends. When the storms get rough and it's scatter and leave, you only be there with yourself and what you believe. We believe in you, but not as much as God does. If you're going through hell, he's got nothing but love. Apply what you learn, increase what you earn, and in due time
You
you'll
got
have money to burn.
Apply what you learn, increase what you burn, and in due time you got money to burn.
Sing it.
Apply what you learn, increase what you burn, in due time you got money to burn.
Sing it.
Apply what you learn,
Sing it.
increase what you burn.
Yes.
In due time you got money to
With
to
this biblical
burn.
miracle,
Yeah.
I look to shout down the doubters, kill the weeds that be killing your dream flowers, empower you to devour all the obstacles that make your sweet dreams sour. As for me, I used to stutter, but now I'm on the microphone smooth like butter. If I can do it, I know you can too, but you must stick to it like postage do. And while Merton's on the chorus, singing what he sings, I encourage you to dream big dreams.
Today is your day.
Today's your day.
And now is your time.
It's your time.
This is your year to thrive.
Sing it, sing it.
Success you will find. Today is your day.
It's your day.
And now is your time.
It's your time.
Today is your day.
Come on.
And now is your time.
Sing it, Martin.
Today is your day. Now is your time.
I realize I can't sing like that, but I can talk and play the woodblock. Okay. If you guys need me, I'll just be over here.